Okay, so a couple things here before we get started on the graphs is that the absolute value function formula begins with your a, x minus h plus k. And we're going to apply that, or use that, I should say, down here. This is the format given. So in order to graph it, step one is to pull out that hk. So see this 4 and -3? So because of the formula having a negative in it, we can tell that the h is actually x minus a -4. It's going to be the opposite sign of whatever is inside those bars with the x. So our hk is going to be -4, -3. It's going to be like our starting point of the graph, and then we're going to count parent slope, or a equals 1. Label and scale that graph, x and y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so go put that dot at -4, -3. So back 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3. And then parent slope goes up 1/1. And then reflecting exactly over the axis to the other side. Use your straight edge to connect those dots. And then arrows to infinity. There she is, our beautiful absolute value function. Now that we've graphed the absolute value function, today in class we learned how to write this same absolute value function as a piecewise. And we're going to use the vertex, the same hk, this -4, -3 in our function, and the a value of 1. So you're telling me, Ms. Sanchez, that I just have to use the same exact function, x plus 4 plus, -3, except instead of the absolute value bars, it's just going to be parentheses. And so we write it again, x plus 4 minus 3. And those are my two linear functions. But notice that the graph is going down first and then up. So remember that one is going to have a positive slope and one's going to have a negative. So in this case, the top function, it's going down first and then up. So negative x plus 4 minus 3 and positive x plus 4 minus 3. Now we need the domain. And the domain is dependent right here on this little 4. Because what's happening up until -4, and then what's happening after -4, that's our break in the domain. So we're going to say that this negative sloping function is happening from -infinity up to -4. And then the other part goes from -4 to infinity. That's my upwards facing. Now, where should the -4 be included? I'm going to include it with the bottom function starting here and then going forward, and not the top. You can't include it in both. So that's it. There's our piecewise function for that absolute value function. Let's go do the next one. Same as we did over here. Let's pull out the hk. Why don't you pause the video at this time and try to graph it on your own? All right, let's see how you did. Did you get the 0.15? So out one up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is a downward sloping, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. And then let's look for that reflection on the other side. And then grab your straight edge. And there's your beautiful absolute value function. Now it wants us to write the piecewise down here. So we're going to say f of x equals. So you're telling me, Ms. Sanchez, that this function is exactly the same as my absolute value function above, but I just write a parentheses. Okay, well, there it is. Now we need to decide, in this case, which one's going to get the negative and which one's going to get the positive. Well, notice that on this function, it's going up first and then down. So the positive slope is on piece number 1 and the negative slope is on piece number 2. So here she is down here. The negative slope is going to go in front of this guy right here. Okay? All right, domain. We're going from negative infinity up into 1, and then from 1 until infinity. And which one do I want to include the 1 with? I'm going to include it on the bottom function. All right, given the absolute value function, write the corresponding absolute value function or piecewise function. So here we were given a piecewise, and we want the absolute value. So we're going to change it to, sorry, I forgot the bar. All right, there it is. Same exact number, the 7, the 6, the 1. Everything copies down. All right, given this absolute value function, we're going to write the piecewise. So we write the same, the same, the same, the same, the same, the same. And then which one gets the negative? Well, this is an upwards orientation absolute value. So it's going to start with going down and then going up. So the negative goes on the top of that one. All right, let's write the domains. Domains are going to be specifically catered to this 2 right here. So we're going to say from negative infinity up to 2, and from 2 to infinity, include the 2 with the bottom one. Done. How'd you do?